The First World War was the era of the rise of tanks, but also the era of chaotic dance of tank design ideas. After all, it was a novelty at the time, and no one knew which structure would meet the requirements of actual combat, so they could only continue to try and show their design ideas and solid industrial foundation to the government and the military, hoping to win orders. As a tractor factory with a strong technical foundation, Holt naturally had an advantage in designing and producing tanks. It did indeed participate more in the American tank industry during World War I. The largest number of tanks on the European battlefield at that time should be the British rhomboid tank and the French Renault FT-17 tank. The former is a large tank, and the latter is a lightweight two-person tank with a single turret. The lightweight tank represented by the FT-17 may look a bit weak, especially with trenches and shell craters all over the battlefield during World War I. However, it proved the outstanding adaptability and combat efficiency of this little guy, and played a certain role in promoting the development of microtanks, or calling it an ultralight tank. The Holt HA-36 is a small tank driven by a single person, and its size is smaller than the Model T car. The basic structure of the tank is derived from the British rhomboid tank, using an overhead track structure. In fact, it is not a combat tank, but a promotional tank, to prove that Holt has the technical ability to build flexible and reliable armored weapons. The HA-36 did live up to expectations, and its display had an unexpected effect. There were reports in the media that Holt began to produce a type of micro-tank for the French army, and predicted, in a dramatic manner, that there might be many Holt microtanks landing in Europe for combat in the future, with illustrations of them crossing trenches for combat. There is not much specific information about the HA-36. Its weight is between 1 to 1.5 tons, and the engine may be installed in the front of the vehicle, with the drive wheel at the back. The front guide wheel can adjust the tension of the track. The body is wrapped in thin steel plates, and the driver enters and exits from the top cabin door. There are observation windows on the front and sides. This promotional small tank is also equipped with weapons. It has a rhomboid tank-like side turret on the side of the vehicle, but it is actually just a model. There is another barrel in the front of the driver's cab, which is not a real cannon, but the exhaust pipe of the engine. This design really doesn't sit well with the driver, as when driving forward, the exhaust would all be blown into the front window of the driver's cab. There is also a lonely headlight above the driver's cabin, providing illumination for the driver. From a promotional perspective, the Holt HA-36 should be considered a success, showcasing the technical strength of the Holt Company. However, at that time, the overall situation of the American tank industry was not clear, and with the late appearance of the HA-36, not long after World War I ended, the United States had even less incentive to develop tanks.